other day one of the guys on the FJ forum asked about my packing system. This is what I've done, but it works for the gear I had, so I don't think this would necessarily work for everyone. But let me show you what I've done. The first thing is, in the corner here I've got a 30-litre Waco fridge. So if I'm going on a long trip, I'll take the Waco. Otherwise, I have, this is a Yeti. Well, they keep things cold for 2-3 days. So I generally only take the fridge on a longer trip. I don't need it, so this is easy and works for me. Something I've got which works very nicely are these things. So they've got Velcro bottoms, L-shaped. They go there and nothing slides. I've got a lot of these. I've taken some, cut them in half, and they actually fit in here as well. So the fridge is there. In this side I have my compressor here, and the pipe for the compressor fits in there, so that's that side. I bought these chairs from a company called Safari Centre in Cape Town. They're very nice chairs made by Frontrunner. They are available in New Zealand, but I like the chairs and they last. So each one has its own slot, and they've also got a little Velcro footed L-shaped bracket to hold it so it doesn't slide around. These rattle a tiny bit. I have a bag for them, but what I do is just stick a piece of toweling next to them and it stops the rattle. So it's just the two of us, so I only need 2 chairs. Over here my Africanness comes out. I have a barbecue grid. So this has got a bag that has been made. It's got thick canvas on the outside, but the inside is waterproof, grease-proof, fat-proof material, so it doesn't rub through. Now your question is going to be, how does this handle fit in here? There's a hole in the back. So the handle goes through the hole, out the way. This slot has 2 things. It has my axe in it, and it has 10 pegs. So that's easy to get to. Getting a little bit closer, in this top compartment I've got a normal recovery strap, I've got an extension strap, and I've got a tree protector. So they just fit in here, easily accessible. I don't have to unpack the car, so they work for me there. Over here is my table. I didn't want to unpack to get anything out, so I can stop and make tea or whatever very easily and get my chairs and table out, and it doesn't rattle. I've got one drawer, and this has got all my breakfast stuff in. It's got a kettle. Okay, inside here I've got a denim bag that insulates everything, so nothing rattles and everything is separated. So I've got my kettle, that's in here. I've got my washing up dish, pots, wine glasses, cutlery. This is also very nice. My cutlery's in the bag, so it all rolls up and it doesn't rattle. You'll notice I don't like rattles. So that's there. I've got metal plates with paper plates that go on top. Over here I've got marshmallow sticks. There's matches, peelers for carrots or whatever, and the odd sharp knife. In the middle compartment I've got tea, coffee, glasses, and over here, coming from Africa, you get all these containers that they had Some had mortars in and some had flares. And in here I've got steak knives and sharp knives. So that's in there. In the front I've got my AeroPress for my coffee. I've got my stove, more matches, salt, pepper and spices. This just locks it, stops it sliding out. In the bottom I've got 2 bins. This bin has got a bag of charcoal. It's got fire lighters. My 10 pegs are currently in here, but they normally go in there. I've got 2 awnings. I've got an awning that's normally fixed on the side. I'll put it on when I go somewhere. And I've got another awning that joins that awning and goes all the way around the back. So if it's raining, I can work in the back without getting wet. And then just other odds and ends go in here. This is my rubbish bag that clips over my spare wheel. So that's that. It also has one of these Velcro L-shaped things that stop it from sliding. In the middle there's 2 things. One is my tent. The other one that fits in here is a ground sheet. I've got a ground sheet which was originally, well, it was made as a ground sheet, but it's made from shade cloth. So the sand just falls through, and it's nice putting your tent on it. It protects the tent and you don't always have sand everywhere. In this bucket I've got a whole bunch of things. I've got, if I'm doing a day trip, I've got a bottle for water, otherwise my water tank fits in the side. I've got gas, I've got my toaster. It's a little toaster that fits on the gas, so I've got that. I've got a pump to pump my airbed. I've got jumper cables. I have the Stanley flask, the best flask I've ever had. I noticed some farmers in Namibia were using them, and I've bought this. It is now probably 12 years old and it still works like a dream. So there's that. I've got barbecue tongs, a spatula, and then something I haven't seen here too often is a jaffle iron. So you make your toasted cheese or whatever it is, put it in here, scrunch it down, put it on the gas or even put it in the fire, and you make your toasty for breakfast. I've also got another stove, extra mugs. I have 2 things that I really like, and that is an LED strip light with Velcro. I bought this from J-Car. It plugs in your lighter, it has a separate switch, and it sticks on anything. So I can stick it underneath here when I'm working. I can stick it on my awning. I have another light for my awning, but this light I just leave in my car. It works fantastically. And then when you're cooking, you often need protection from the wind. So I've got these. So these you just open up around your stove and you can stop the wind blowing on your stove. I've also got spare gas. I've normally got 4 or 5 spare gas, toilet roll, washing up liquid, dishcloths and a scourer. So that's what I've done. I think it takes time. This is my 14th 4x4 and I've got lots of things that I've bought incorrectly. So I've now got what works for me. It might not work for you, but this is what works for me. So my whole packing system has been designed for what I need. This vehicle is lower than the vehicles I've had before. For those I had a slide for my fridge. On this one the fridge is not that high, so you can see in, etc. Obviously you can't open it in here with the ceiling being so low, but it works. Something else which is not really part of the packing system but that really works for me is this, and that is this table. So this table just opens up like this. You can put whatever you need on it, and when you're finished, fold it up and it locks. This I took out of, I had a 76 series Land Cruiser. Whatever works for you. This really, I find it easy. Then in line with this, I have the second platform that I put the seats flat, the platform lies on the seats, and it gives me a full-length bed. Hope that answers the question. Cheers.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here